And good morning, 70s time at 6:49. David White is here from New York Sea Grant to talk about the Sandy Creek Watershed Project, which is a pilot program, first of its kind, I believe, right? Called within ecology-based management. That's what we're going to talk about here this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Very good.
Very good.
This is the first trial of EBM, ecology-based management. What does that mean, EBM?
What it's looking at in Sandy Creek Watershed is one of the two pilots in the state. It's a real exciting opportunity for the folks in this part of the world, and it's looking at the entire watershed of the Sandy Creeks area. And it's the Sandy Creeks, Big Sandy, South Sandy, Little Sandy, and it's several agencies coming together under new state legislation to work together to look at the entire watershed and look at the ecological base and look at what are some of the issues, concerns, and how can the entire component within that, including the human factor, be involved in helping better manage our resources. That watershed's in great shape. There's not a lot of critical issues, and that's one of the reasons it's one of the pilots, is to look at a watershed that's in really good shape. It's got a lot of great features. We're in an area that, you know, a lot of our recreation, a lot of our uses are based on those resources. So how do you look at long-term management involving the citizenry, the private landowners, the public landowners? The other pilot's down in Long Island. A very active area, a lot of major issues, so they can look at these two as pilots.
Probably not as pristine as Sandy Creek.
They're not as pristine as what we have here. Obviously, they use them in a different way, but it's to look at these two as pilots and really try to develop some baseline data and look at how can you better manage in a large watershed area.
It almost seems like it'd be easier to figure out how to fix something than to maintain. I mean, if you've got nice waters, it seems harder to figure out how to maintain that.
It really is, and the Tug Hill Commission is providing a lot of leadership for this, as well as the Nature Conservancy with a lot of other state agencies and federal agencies. And one of the things they're looking at is just that. I mean, if your resources aren't in trouble, it's hard for folks to get really excited about it. But again, it's, you know, looking at the next generation. What are we going to have for them, and how do we maintain the resources? How do we maintain, you know, the use of the logging area, which is large in the watershed, agriculture production, which is critical to the economy. How do we maintain that while maintaining the quality of the rivers for the salmon and other warm water species, for fishing? So it's looking at the whole package, and it's kind of exciting to look at and get the local communities involved to say, what do you want this to be?
Maybe more exciting, too, to say this is a good spot to be in.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so
absolutely.
let's keep it this way.
Let's keep it this way as long as you get us some snow.
I know.
That's your job.
I know.
You know, that's part of it.
I'm
you know,
in control of it. So
but again, you know, and that discussion comes in as well. You know, global warming, and I'm sure out west they would argue whether global warming in Las Vegas when it's 23.
Right.
But you know, impacts long term. So how are we maintaining these resources for the long term for us, for our kids, for our grandkids to utilize? What do we want that to be? And then how do you all work collectively together to manage it and set the strategy forward? So it's different.
Yeah.
So looking at how long does the project go for, and what will people notice? Will there be some scientists or environmentalists out taking samples, or are we going to see anything different out there?
Absolutely, and that's one of the things we're looking at. We just had the first research conference to look at what are some of the research needs in this area. And as opposed to a lot of other areas, there's a lot of research needs to say, what do we have out there? Actually, in the entire watershed, there's only one ecological station, monitoring station. So how do you have in this large watershed that goes all the way up into the Tug Hill, just to the foot of the Adirondacks, all the way to Lake Ontario, and you only have one monitoring station to be able to say, are things changing?
Right.
Do we have any concerns in water quality and land use patterns? So they're looking at it saying we probably need multiple areas to have baseline studies done. So if we see changes, we can be in advance of them. So we just had a research conference to look at it. Tug Hill Commission and the Nature Conservancy are going around right now meeting with all the towns. They'll be coming out with public meetings to engage the public and the private landowners who, you know, own a lot of the land to say, how can you better manage your land for your productivity, for the long term, and for the community at large.
All right, we have more information at the bottom of the screen, or at least you can give more information by contacting that website or giving a call to the phone number as well. David, thanks for coming in.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
See you next
Back in a couple
month.
of moments.